Hello, everybody. Is this recording? Am I good? Let's see. Yep, I think it's going okay. Hey, Julie. Can I share that? Good morning. I shared this over to my Blessed to Stamp group, which is my team group. Hi, Christine. I have a package coming your way, Christine, that has your catalog and your My Favorite kit in it. I'm going to ship it with your catalog. So that's going to go out today to you. And I have a catalog going to you, Julie, that will go next week. So catalogs, I'm a little bit behind getting catalogs out to everybody. If you're in Blessed to Craft and you get the monthly packets, your catalog came with you. If you were part of the mini retreat box, then you should have got a catalog with that as well. So just a little update. You guys, welcome. We're going to put together our Blessed to Craft projects. And hi, Kathy. Good morning. It is, I think the lighting is okay in here. I have everything closed up. The curtains are closed. The blinds are down because it is already really hot here. So I'm trying to keep it as cool as possible in my office. So I just have one light on. And we're going to see if that works. I hope everybody is doing really well. We are in another little bit of a heat spell here. We are going to see about 105, 106 degree weather over the next couple days. Who's ready for fall? Who is ready to... I am ready for fall. I'm ready. I'm praying, crossing my fingers and praying that California gets some kind of wet weather this year because we are in a major drought and it is getting a little bit scary. I have to admit, lived in California all my life. This is not something that is new to California. It happens, but I don't think it's ever been in my lifetime this bad, and it is scary. Oh, good. Okay, so now that everybody has had a chance to come in and comment, this is going on YouTube right away today, so you can look at the bottom of the screen for chapters to go to each of the things you want to go to if you don't want to sit through the chit chat. Kathy said she's ready for fall. Hello, Carolyn. Ugh. Yes, the humidity back there, I feel for you. My good friend Megan is in Pennsylvania, and I was texting her yesterday, and she was saying the humidity was off the charts. And I said, that's why I can never move back there, and we can never live in the same state because I can't deal with the humidity. So hang in there, you guys. We'll get to fall. We will get there. Okay, so a couple quick updates. I will be back hopefully to normal in August. July has been kind of crazy and I have struggled quite a bit this month with all of the things, and I'm not having the best week, having some situations, but I'm feeling like August we're going to get back to a little bit normal. The kids are going back to school. We have that to navigate. We're in California, so we have some what's a nice way of saying, we have some politic BS happening, and so we're navigating that, but we're getting excited to see friends again and go back to school, so we'll deal with all of that. Oops, let me make sure. My mom is still currently here and helping. She goes home next week, and I am hoping that by next week I will be feeling a little bit better and able to cope a little bit better. It's been rough. Right after this video, I will be live in the Blessed to Craft Facebook group that is exclusive to members, and I will be doing a bonus project. I already have it ready. So let's go ahead and dive in. I need my stamp set. Let me grab my stamp set. Where did I put it? Right here. So this month we're doing a fun Christmas in July projects, and we are using the Tidings and Trimmings set, and I have the dies that go with it. For the cards that we're going to make today, I did not use any dies, but on our bonus project, I did. I love these dies, particularly for the stars and the holly. I think these are all really great dies and really easy to cut. I cut out one of these stars. And look how beautiful it is. And literally all these pieces fell out. Like I didn't even, you can see there's a couple I'm punching out right now, but literally they all just fell out of this die. It's a really amazing die. So there's that, and then there's this. And so we'll be using this. In your packets, I do too, Christine. I love this set. In your packet, you will have a 1/4 pack of the designer paper. So this is really gorgeous paper. It's like traditional, but not, right? It has this very traditional feel with the reds and the greens, but it has this really dark evening evergreen. And then it has this soft succulent piece. Where is it? Right here. The soft succulent piece. So it's like almost like a modern traditional, which is like really kind of a crazy, like, is that something? Like, can that be something? But it's like, that's the feel I get of this paper. I love it. You guys have seen me use this quite a bit. I've used it for 4th of July inspired cards and different ones because of the red and the green and the subtle patterns. I think this would also be great for a winter or even summer. This could be really cute. I don't know if you guys follow Lawn Fawn. I love their products. They recently came out with a die and a stamp set that is a little some more like marshmallow like set. And when I saw that set, I immediately thought of this piece of paper, and I thought, oh, it would be so cute to do that little die and that little stamp on this as like a summer card. So I think that it's really nice to think outside of the box sometimes with our designer paper and see like that we can do different things. I will link in the YouTube description, and then also in this video description, I will link that Lawn Fawn set if you're interested. It's just really cute. And you guys know me, I love crafting. So if I see something like that that goes well with something, I'm going to mention it. So I love this. And then the other thing that you got in your packet is you got 2 of these pieces of like dazzling paper. This is paper that is in the Celebration catalog. So on August 3rd, we are having a 2nd round of celebrations this year. And this is one of the sets of paper that you can get. Now, I included 2 pieces for you guys to see and use and play with. I think that this is really different kind of like glimmer paper. It's not like glitter paper. It's almost like sequins have been smashed on this. It doesn't flake off. It cuts beautifully on your trimmer. And I wanted you to have a chance to see this and feel it and play with it. And then you also have 2 pieces of the gold foil. Now, this does not necessarily go. This is more of a champagne color. This is more of a yellow gold. But if you have the brushed metal cardstock from the brushed metallic cardstock from last year that will also be in this holiday catalog, it will go really well with this. So that is the paper and all the fun glitter. Kathy said, I really didn't like this DSP at first, but once I saw it in person, I really liked it. It is really, really different in person. And with that said, don't forget that I do have my paper share that I am doing for the fall winter catalog. I would love for you to sign up for it. The next thing that you have is a set of red rhinestones, and then you have a set of red and gold twine, and then you have a little bit of loose gold twine. So the silver and gold cord that I included in your kit. We're actually not going to use that. I wanted you guys to have it for the holidays because I think it's really amazing for the holidays, but I wanted something a little bit more pliable like baker's twine for the gold for our cards. So that's what you have in your kit. The loose gold trim is not from Stampin' Up. It was from Amazon. I just got a big roll of it and I included it because it was what I wanted on the projects. But the gold and silver, it's a stiffer cord type of like trim. That is from Stampin' Up. It comes in a pack and it's silver and gold. Okay, so and then I'm going to use a gold gel pen, and then we're also going to use gold embossing powder. So let's grab all of that out. We'll grab my tray, my embossing buddy, and then my Versamark, and then we need gold embossing powder. Okay, so that's a lot of supplies, right? Okay. Let's move all of these over. And then we're just going to go through these cards and make them. The first card I have here is this one here. It says, "Cheers from our home to yours." And I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler. Here. So what I have is my this is my Cherry Cobbler. You could use Real Red if you wanted, but I tend to like Cherry Cobbler when I'm doing Christmas cards. And the first thing that we're going to do, I've just taken Cherry Cobbler cardstock. I've cut it at 5.5 and then I've scored it at 4 1/4, which is not my usual, the way I usually do cards, but that's the orientation I wanted this time. And then what I've done is I just have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Let me grab my adhesive. And I'm going to use a lot of liquid glue here today. I'm a little clogged up. Oh my gosh, Julie, it cracks me up when you're watching because I don't know if it's like you're switching. What is the deal with this adhesive? I don't know if you're switching devices or if it keeps kicking you off, but it's so funny because every time it comes up on my screen that Julie's watching like a million times. Julie's watching, like Julie's watching. I laugh every time. There's no doubt in my mind that Julie is watching. Okay, my glue is, oh, it's starting to come. It's clogged. There it goes. It's okay. Also the heat in here. I'm sort of experiencing a couple problems in my craft room this year because we've had such excessive heat that we normally don't have. I'm having some problems with my supplies, my ink pads. I'm starting to have issues with my ink pads and then my adhesive. Okay, so we have that. So the next thing we're gonna do is use our designer paper, and I've already sent the PDF out to all of the members and everybody who purchased the Christmas in July class. I've sent the PDF out, so you should have that already, and it has all of the measurements. So I am not sharing measurements on here today. I might mention a couple, but in general, I'm not sharing them. And then what we're going to do is cut. So we have this piece here. I used the crumb cake piece. And then we're going to pick 2 other designs. And I like this red one. I'm going to use the trees. I think I'll just do 3 designs. So I have the trees and then this dark green. And we're going to do some strips. Now, I have been really, hey, Missy, I have been really enjoying, for whatever reason, a lot of the cards I've made recently, I've done this thing where I make strips of designer paper and then I put the card together. I don't know what that is. I just am kind of drawn to, I guess, that look right now. I think I cut one of those wrong. And then I gotta think. So that would be 4 1/4 and then 4. So then I'm gonna try to cut all 3 of these at the same time. I think it's an easy way to make cards is to do these strips. Let me make sure they fit. I'm doing this by memory, so yeah. Okay, so we have that. And then the next thing that we need is our white circle. And then we're gonna do our stamping and embossing, okay, before we do anything else. And I gotta throw my hair up really quick, you guys, because it's too hot down here. I think it makes it easy when you do the strips. It looks nice, and then it's just easy. Okay. Now, let's grab our stamp set. And the first thing we're going to do is stamp our stocking. And I'm going to use this solid image. The great thing about this, you can use these solid images. You can use this image that's not solid. You could color this. You could use watercolor pencils, or you could do blends or just your markers with either one of these, or you could do what we're going to do and emboss them. I just think it gives you a variety of looks, which I like. Sometimes I don't like it when you get a stamp set and you like, you know, one of the images, but then it's like you can only use that image that way, and then you get bored with it, right? So I like it when we have some options. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is just use our powder tool and put that on there. Open this up. We need Versamark. And then, oh, this is my icky one. I really need to order a new Versamark. Let's see if my other one is nicer. Yeah, I actually think I'm gonna throw that other one away. And it's fine. It will be fine. Like, you can use it, but I think I need to order a new one. So this is just a really sticky ink. And what we're gonna do, because this has a lot of details, and when you use this sticky ink, it becomes slick, right? So it's gonna, if you're not careful when you put it down on your cardstock, your stamp will actually slide a little bit. And because this design is so intricate, we want to be really careful. Place it down. You sort of see the cardstock start to like suck the stamp in, and it'll change colors a little bit. Once it does that, you're going to lift it up. And then it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, right? I always tell you guys that. You don't have to worry about if it's perfect. You do the very best. You know, you're careful when you stamp, and then the way it comes out is the way it comes out, and you don't worry about it. So flick that off a little bit, and then we're gonna grab our heat tool and we're gonna heat set this. We're gonna do a lot of embossing today, so this video is gonna be a little bit longer. So we're gonna let our heat tool heat up for just a second, and then we're gonna move this over our image back and forth, and it's gonna heat it up and melt it. I'm gonna go from behind as well. And then something that's not on the photo of this card that I'm gonna do, because I thought about it afterwards, I'm going to emboss the edge of this by just rolling my die in the ink. And then doing the same thing in the powder. just rolling it. And then heat setting it. And once I started embossing, it made me just want to keep embossing. That's what happens to me. Sometimes I don't feel like getting all of it out or having the mess. And then I start doing it and I'm like, oh yeah, this is so pretty. I love it. Especially on Christmas projects, Christmas cards, December dailies, scrapbooking projects. Okay, so now I've done that edge. Now when I have everything out, I'm going to also do this edge, which I did not do in the photos. So if you got the PDF, the photo of this does not have the edges like this done, but I think it's really gonna elevate this card. So again, this video might be a little bit longer than I normally do for these, but I think it's going to be worth it. So we're gonna do that, and we'll do 2 sides at a time just so I have a little bit more control, right? So then let's heat set this. Hey, Mary. I'm so glad to see you. So just heat set the sides. And we don't need to rush through crafting, right? We don't need to rush through getting these cards done. We can just take a minute and enjoy the process. Enjoy that it's a little messy. It's fine. It cleans up. It wipes up. It's going to be worth it when you see the way this card comes together. Okay. So let's add that gold embossing to the side. Flick it off a little bit. And then I don't want it to come up on the edges very much because I didn't do that on the other sides. So I want to keep it kind of even. Okay, and then let's heat set this. And it's just a tiny bit of gold, but it's really, really gonna pop. There's something about Christmas projects and gold and the glitter. It's just so fun. Okay. So now we'll set that aside. And then watch the way it's gonna pop on this card. So it doesn't seem like it's like a big deal, right, on here? But when we put it on here, it's beautiful. Okay, so we don't wanna attach that yet. We're gonna work on our other pieces. Now you could do each of the strips as well. Like if you just really were very excited, you could do each of these strips in gold too. I think that might take up too much of your guys' time for me to do that. But you totally could, and it would be really, really pretty. So I'm gonna use this liquid glue because I want a few minutes, not a few minutes, but like a few seconds to get this in place where I want it. And you just have that freedom when you use liquid glue. Any of the designs would work. So I'm using the exact designs that you see on your PDF, but you could use any of the designs of paper. They're all really gorgeous. These stripes, I love these stripes. This set and this, like this piece and this piece would make great summer cards. And then I'll put this right here in the middle. Like I said, these strips would be gorgeous if you did the gold as well. And these probably should have gone a little bit over, but that's okay. And then you're gonna take the actual twine. You can use the cord that you got in your, if you want that thicker look, or you can use the twine. Either way. And so what we're gonna do is wrap this around a couple times. I like to do 3. I feel like that's the golden number to do twine, is 3. And then we're gonna cut this. It's funny, my mom's watching and my mom's here. She's just like in the living room. Always cracks me up. Sometimes Andrew will watch with her and he thinks it's funny to see. So now we're just gonna tie a bow, and I'm making it pretty tight so you can see that the cardstock, the designer paper, it's pulling up a little bit, but when I tie my bow, it will loosen up a tiny bit. So tie that, and then see how it's kind of curled up? Just pull it and it will loosen up a tiny bit, and then it won't be so tight, and then you can move it around and then move it up if you want. But isn't that gorgeous? And then let's trim our pieces here. Okay. So now we have this piece. So now we're gonna add foam to the back of this. And I'm gonna use the foam that I've been really enjoying. If you guys are interested in this foam, I will link it. It is from Amazon, and it is a cheaper version, and I don't mean cheaper in like it's not good, because I have found that this foam is just as good as the 3M foam, but it is a fraction of the cost. And I mean a fraction of the cost. You get 2 entire rolls when you order for, I believe it's like $6. And the 3M foam is $10 for 1 roll. And I can go through this foam like crazy. So I am glad to have an alternative. I really like it. It's a strong adhesive. And I think it works really well. Okay, I'll link it when I get done here. I will link it here on Facebook. And in the email that goes out to everybody that's part of Blessed to Craft, I will include a link as well. And I get the 2 different sizes. I get this thicker size, and then I get a thinner size. So let's make sure our card is gonna open in the right direction. We're gonna stick that right in the middle. Look how pretty that is with the gold. Oh, you know what? It didn't get heat set all the way. Let me just heat set that. All the way around. Some of it came off. Okay, so then we have our stocking and our circle here. And we're gonna use Cherry Cobbler ink and a sentiment. So the one that I'm gonna use, it says, "Cheers from our home to yours." And then a question that I got an email last week. I didn't reply to it, but I will. So if you sent me this email, I'll reply to you, no worries. They asked about the stamps. Like, you can see that my stamp is stained because I've used red ink. And the person was very concerned about the stamp being stained and not being able to clean it off well. And that's okay. That's supposed to happen. The photopolymer will stain when you're using especially darker colors. And that just means that you actually craft. It means that you actually use your stamps to craft and do things with. And it doesn't affect the integrity of your stamp at all. So there's no reason to worry about it. Mine gets stained. You guys know me. I cut my stamps up. They get stained. Like, I really want to be able to use them. And so I just look at it like it's a nice, it's nice that they get used and they get stained, and I'm using the stuff that I'm buying. So we're going to add our circle right here. And then on this one, in the photo, you can see I took my gold gel pen and I went around the edge You can do that as well. And you can also see I re-inked my stamp pad since I did that one. So there's those cards. My bow's on this side on this card, and it's on this side on this card. So either way, it doesn't matter which way you put your circle. It's whatever you like. Okay, so next we're going to use our Evening Evergreen cardstock. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous cardstock. And the first layer we're going to have is going to be our soft succulent. And then we're going to need a designer piece of paper. So we'll grab our designer paper. Oh, the other thing that you can do, let me bring these two cards back. So the other thing that you can do, because you guys know I always love adding a little bit of bling, you can add a couple rhinestones to your card. I don't think that you can have too much glitz and glam, especially when it comes to Christmas cards. And I will use these cards for my Christmas cards this year. These will be some of the ones that I use. So I think a few red rhinestones are gorgeous. And I do what I always do, which is just sprinkle them on the card, like so. Okay, so we have our soft succulent right there. And then I'm going to use this piece here. That's not the piece I used in the photo, so I'll show you the way they both look, because we're gonna do a couple different things here. So this is soft succulent, and we're gonna do some embossing, but we're first gonna cut our designer piece. And I'm going off memory of what that piece is, so let's see how close I get. Sometimes I remember when I'm designing, and sometimes I have to remeasure or look. Look at that. I did it. Okay, so now what we're going to do, again, we're going to do the embossing, and I'm going to do this really different than we did it in the photo, because why not? We have it all out. Let's just have fun. Let's pretend it's winter and not the middle of summer. Okay, so then we'll dip this in here. Versamark stays wet for a long time, so you don't have to work fast. I try to work pretty fast. I get nervous. It's like I don't know if I can trust the ink. Okay, and then we just want to make sure all of our spots are covered. And you can see it's much different, this one, than my other one. I really went in with the Versamark. And I'm just gonna fix this corner. It's a bit much. I think I need a smaller... I'm getting picky. There we go. Okay, so now let's heat set this. And you can see that this gold is really thick on this side. But I promise it's going to be gorgeous. You could do this with white embossing powder and it could look like snow. Like a snowy scene. So just make sure that it's all melted on the edge. And I love how it gives this like look of like a paintbrush stroke. I think that's gorgeous. So now let's do that on each of these pieces. So again, I'm just running my ink pad right on the edge. Instead of running it this way, I'm actually taking the ink pad and running it on that cardstock. And you can see it changes the color of the cardstock, and that's how you know where that ink is. The other thing that you can use Versamark for is just to give a tone on tone look. You could totally leave it just like that without adding any embossing powder. You don't always have to use Versamark for adding embossing powder. Okay, so then we'll clean that up a tiny bit. Okay, and then we'll heat set this again. So it takes a little time, but the outcome is so worth it. And now my heat tool is pretty heated up, so you can see that it's melting the embossing powder much quicker. Be really careful when you're using your heat tool. It gets really hot. I've burnt myself before. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this brush here and, okay, and then let's do the same thing to this piece. I mean, we are glitzing this card up. And you're gonna see the difference. I'll show you the one card with a different designer paper with no embossing on the layers, and then we'll look at this one and you'll see such a difference. Okay, and then we'll just clean this up a little bit more because this is what's actually going to be, you're going to see this design more, and I want more of that design to be seen. So then let's do it again. And this one is a little bit more messy. Make sure everything is melted. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use my brush to get all of that off. Okay, so now we're gonna layer this together. Look how gorgeous. So now the soft succulent has gotten a little bit lost because I've done so much embossing. You could cut this down if you wanted. I think I'm gonna leave it. I wish I would have thought that through a little bit, just so that soft succulent could peek out a little bit, but you'll see that on the other card and you'll see what I mean. They're both really beautiful. And so I'm gonna add this to here, and it's gonna curl up a tiny bit because there's all that embossing. And then if you notice some of these white little lines, it's just from my nails from the white when I flicked it, but it'll be covered. So we're gonna add it like this. Like I said, I wish I would have left more of that soft succulent showing, but it's okay. So the next thing we're gonna do is take some of that twine and we're gonna wrap it around this way instead and do the same thing where we're gonna tie a bow. Okay. So we'll tie a bow. Oh, sorry guys. I don't know what it is. Every time I've done a live, I've sneezed. Okay. Next, we can add this to our card. So again, I'm going to use a little bit of that foam. Thank you, Kathy. And then I'm going to move this over so that I can get one strip of this foam. I like to make a little like area for my twine or my ribbon, if I'm using ribbon, to sit. I think it just helps it so that it doesn't feel wonky. Okay, and then we'll take this off. And then I'm going to show you what we did. So we'll add this to the middle here. Look at all that gorgeous embossing. It's so pretty. Okay, so the way that the rest of this card is going to go is you're going to stamp out the stars. I'm not going to do this part. I'm just going to show you how I did it, and then I'll do it off camera since we took so much time doing all the embossing. See how that... Oh, I missed my designer paper. It's already on there, you guys. Okay, so I did a piece of designer paper here on the cardstock piece. I can't get that off. Well, I'm glad I didn't do the stars because I'll have to fix that. And then I added the twine. And then for the sentiment, I just did Noel. So you can see that. And then see how the Simply Succulent or the Soft Succulent, I don't know why I keep calling it that. The Soft Succulent really pops. So it's just a different way to do it. So that's the next card. Okay, so our very last card, the other thing I really like about this set of designer paper is the blues and the greens in it. You wouldn't typically think of blue as a more traditional color for Christmas, but I think it really works with this paper and this design. So I'm just gonna wipe up all the powder. It's starting to like annoy me on my hands. And then we'll let that dry. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our cardstock. And this is Night of Navy cardstock. Now, I think it looks brighter than Night of Navy. Quite honestly, when I was doing this, I was like, this really looks a lot brighter than Night of Navy. I'm just gonna use this envelope to set this down. And we have our cherry cobbler piece, and it's gonna go here. We're gonna work on a couple layers, and then I'm going to cut my designer paper. So let me find my pack of paper here. And I want to use this piece here. And so I need to cut this. And this is an easy layer. We're just taking a 1/4 inch off all of our pieces. That is what is always really easy for me to do. Okay. And on this one, what we're going to do is only emboss the designer piece. And I just want to showcase a couple different ways you can just add a little bit of fun to your cards. You don't have to do every layer like we did on the last one. Like you might feel like, oh, that was a little too much and it was too much gold embossing. So then try to just do one of the layers. So I think the best thing that we can do for our crafting is just play around and see what we like. What I like, you might not like. You might not like the gold embossing at all. And you might think like, that's not for me. So that's okay. So the best thing we can do is just get the stuff out and play with it and see what we like. And if we don't like something, we can just remake it. We have all the stuff, right? There's nothing saying every single card that you go to make has to be perfect the very first time you make it. So you find out what you like, what, you know, even what products you like playing with. So this is really messy. I didn't make sure that every piece was cut, like every inch was covered. I made it a little bit more like almost brush strokes. Particularly right here in this corner, you're gonna see it's not completely covered. See that where it's much lighter? Okay, so this piece can definitely go down right away. So we'll add the, hey Linda, we'll add some liquid glue. Liquid glue is really nice when you're embossing because it's gonna attach to your project a little bit easier. And then I really resisted the urge to add twine to this layer because I really wanted to, but I felt like we had added twine to our other two, so I'm not gonna worry about it this time. Again, just a different look. Now we're gonna take one of our darker pieces here. I love this sheet. It's so, so gorgeous. And I think I'm gonna do that. I think that's smaller than the card that I did, but we'll see. This is what we're gonna go with. It's a little thinner, okay? So let's add some foam to the back of this. And for this, I'm just gonna add one of my fun foam sheets. I think that will be fine. I have like 100 scissors out on my work surface. I keep pulling different scissors. So we'll add the foam. And we'll add this piece here. Okay. And we're gonna make sure our card, see, look at that. You always wanna double check to make sure your card is in the right orientation. Because believe me, I've done that before where I put the whole card together and it opens upside down. So that was a good little check there. Okay, so then I think my surface is dry now. And then I'll use my grid mat to just line things up, and we'll just hold that for 1 second. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Perfect. Okay, then we have a stitched nestled die. Now these are retired, but I think I told you guys, I just plan on using these. I love them. And so I'm going to keep using them. Let me grab my stamp set because we need a different sentiment. Here's the stamp set. And this, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Fits perfect on this die. So we'll grab another block. I recently ordered a couple new blocks. I know, right? Me too, Linda. She said, I've done that so many times you'd think I would learn. And I think that we're starting to remember, right? That's why I say always check. Just open that card up and just check. And I love the way this fits in this bottom corner. Like, when I pull this away, you guys will be able to see a little bit easier, but it just fits really perfect right in that space. I love it. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to stamp. Now, I stamped the stocking, this one right here. I stamped this stocking on red cardstock in gold. And then I stamped the top on white, and then I layered them together. Missy said, I don't like how the trim unravels when you cut it. So she's talking about this trim right here, and the way, and the one that you guys got in your kit unravels even more. There's a couple things that you can do with that. You can embrace it, and it's just another look. In fact, sometimes I like to pull this apart and just have another look. So if you just pull it, I actually really like the way that looks on certain projects. If you really, really don't like it, all you have to do is twist it. And then, okay, so cut the extra off like that. Okay, so cut the stuff that's undoing, you know, it's unwinding. And then just take a little bit of your liquid glue. And put it on there, and then it won't do it. You're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. It just is what the product is. And it just gives you the ability. I like it because it gives you the ability to use your supplies in different ways. So I don't think that there's anything wrong with what you're doing or how you're doing it. I have ribbon scissors, so I only use these scissors to cut ribbon, and these are a really expensive pair of scissors. It's a pair of scissors Stampin' Up! Used to sell, and they were $30 a piece. And so my advice is invest in a really good, really sharp pair of scissors. There's ribbon on here so that I only cut ribbon with it. Get a really good cut and then add a little bit of glue. If you're using it for a project that you don't want it to unravel, add a little bit of glue to that and let it dry, and you're totally fine. Okay, so then I just popped these up. I added a little bit of twine to the top with a bow. I tied it in a bow. And then I added a rhinestone. So you can see the difference. I'm not going to go through this part with you. I think that we've done a lot of embossing. So, you know, you might be done with this video. That's okay. But you can see that this has this look with the embossed piece. This doesn't. I also, on this one, embossed the edge here. And I think that that looks really, really gorgeous. You could emboss this with gold as well, and then you're just going to layer this on here. So I'll do all of that off camera so that I have these. I used the same designer piece on these. I didn't do anything different. And then just pop these up. Like I said, I stamped these on red. So stamp the whole stocking on red. Use your dies or fussy cut it. And then stamp just the top part on white and then cut them out and add it. You could add a little bit of glitter, a little bit of Wink Stella, if you wanted it to look like fuzzy. There was that product that we sold a couple years ago that was like a flocking. So it was like almost like a puff paint where you would put it on and it was white and it would kind of puff up a little bit and it would look like snow or it would look like fur. You could do that. Lots of different things that you can do. So let me show you guys the cards, the finished ones that we did. You can see this one opens up this way because that's the kind of card base I had. And you could do it this way if you wanted. I just thought I would do something a little different. And then here is this one that we did. So those are the cards we made for Blessed to Craft. Leave a comment below, like in here, just leave a comment, say hello if you haven't already, and you will be entered to win a Blessed to Craft kit. I will send somebody a set of it. So just leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, you can leave a comment on YouTube as well, and I will pick a winner to send that out. I will be jumping off here when we're done, and I will jump on our exclusive group for our exclusive project using these things. I need to clean my desk up. and wipe up all the embossing powder. But I hope you guys enjoyed these, and I will be back next Monday. I will be live with you guys again with a project and a PDF, and we will start August out really well. Thank you, Mary, for being here. Thank all of you guys. I thank all of you guys for being here. You know, I love it when you guys show up and comment and hang out with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you guys next week.